You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
It's the Dude Bro Show. Fucking A shit. Dude Bro. Dude Bro Show. Titties and beer. Titties and beer. Dude Bro Show. Fuck yeah. Unsupervised. Oh shit. Dude Bro Show, fucking A, yeah, coming at you live, fuck yeah.
And welcome into the program, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, He Said, She Said will not be airing tonight. The incomparable Aggie Regan is out for the evening, not feeling well, so I've brought on a bunch of guys, including the only guy who's big enough and swinging enough to guest host on his own damn show, the one, the only Mickey Blowtorch. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, Rick, and good evening, KLRN.
So how you been, man? How you been?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me on my show. It's always good to be here. Live doing radio.
Thanks for having me on my own show. Yeah, it seemed kind of fitting since you're back in the saddle officially next week for the whole Christmas thing. So
yeah, we got that going on. I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah, I'm stoked.
I'm just
I am emotionally erect. Just thinking about it.
Can you guys believe that this will be our third annual production?
No, not really.
Third.
Also our fourth production.
Altogether, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'd have been up to like 6 by now.
May there be many, many more. I have a few ideas in that regard, but I'm not going to say any more. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Yes, Vincent, myself, and Jeff have been conspiring, not together, but on multiple levels.
So
you have no idea what you're in for, Mickey.
So you're conspiratorial, but not as a group. That's even scarier. Just saying.
Too brute.
I don't even know what's going on because I haven't been looped in, and I'm still freaking out over here. Not even gonna lie. Anyway. All right, so you have a panel with us this evening. So we have Mickey Blowtorch. You've heard the voice of the Amish so far as well. And then we have Vincent Charles. We also have John Katz with us this evening. So good evening, Mr. Katz, sir. How are you?
Yo, how's it going? Good evening. Excuse me, I started choking there for a minute. Looking forward to the Christmas production. I printed my script today. Taking it. Now that I know the vibes, I'm gonna come in with some cleverness. I had no idea what I was getting into last year, so I appreciate being part of that. So.
We usually try to let the first one be a bit of a shock, and then you kind of figure out your way from there. It's a way to weed out the week.
We don't actually follow the script. Yeah.
No, we do follow the script, but you have to
follow the
look at
script.
it like,
yes, sorry. The dialogue, I should say.
Company. When they do a play, they usually take about 12 to 14 weeks to prepare for it. And this isn't including rehearsals. This is so they can immerse themselves in the role. I tend to take 12 to 14 minutes before the show and then go for it because...
See, I've been living as my character. We had Hanukkah dinner the other night. I showed up as Shellhammer. And I would not break character because I'm trying to immerse myself into the role.
You're our very own Christian Bale.
He's so mad.
Yeah. I've been living out in like a little Christmas cabin all by myself. And it's going well.
John Katz, method actor.
Eating squirrels. Yeah, I'm Shellhammer. I am embodying him.
Acting.
I'm starting to get
acting.
I'm going to be Gimbal, which I guess is a competitor to Macy's.
Yeah.
Correct.
You are my nemesis, sir.
If you lived in the Northeast during the late 20th century, there was a huge rivalry between Macy's and Gimbals. They were both huge department stores, and unfortunately, Gimbals, which I feel was the superior store,
shut it.
The way of the dinosaur.
As Mr. Macy, I command you to shut it now.
See, out here it was Macy's and Dillard's that were in fierce competition.
Oh, Dillard's was big down south.
We still have Dillard's. That's where I buy a lot of my clothes to this day.
We don't have malls in California anymore.
We always had Burdines down here. Talk about a dinosaur. That was the Florida one. Every mall had a Burdines, and then none. Gone.
Let us not forget Montgomery Wards.
Yes, also those.
Had those
you
in
can get
Virginia.
lingerie and tires.
Well, there's Sears too, right? Yeah, same deal.
Sears, JCPenney, and Co.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but so the coolest thing about Montgomery Wards though wasn't even necessarily the fact that you get tires and lingerie at the same time. They were the ones that had all the giant Japanese robots when I was a kid. Because I love those.
Yeah.
That was actually one of my first Christmas memories that I actually really, really remember. That is like one of my favorite ones to this day. Was when I got like I think my parents were still together, so I guess I must have been like 5 or 6. But I got like a 3-foot tall Godzilla with the button that you could push and his fist would launch off. It was awesome.
I remember those. They had a whole series of robots, Shogun Warriors.
Yeah.
I had those. Oh my god, they were so fucking cool.
I think they had the exclusive on the Ultraman toys too.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. God
Fuck
damn.
me dead, I'm old.
Right. It's not the years, it's the my. Oh fuck, that's not good either.
Yeah, I was gonna say
me and Mickey are
that
lost over here. This shit was in the 80s.
Yeah, that it's not the years, it's the mileage doesn't work for most of us around this group either.
No, it does not.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been shot at, stabbed, ran over. Mileage is kind of bad too.
Killerins Rasputin.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have been dead like 6 times over already. So, yeah. Fun times.
Everybody get their Madre Duck packages in? Holy fuck.
They're what? I'm confused.
Mickey, I think you get it, right?
The what?
The Madre Duck? Mama Duck?
What's Mama Duck? Oh, the candies. No, what are those?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you got some. Never mind. Oops, my bad. Awkward. No, Mother Ducker. She sends out.
Oh. I thought you were talking about like a type of candy that I've never heard about.
No.
You had my attention.
That'd be more like a strain of weed.
She sent none of us candy except for you, bro.
Oh, man.
Now you have to share with the class.
Yes, I do. Holy shit.
Pretty out
This
there.
is what happens when you out yourself, sir. Now you have to share.
God damn it. Humanity sucks.
I know her too, Madre Duck Quattro. I got a bone to pick with her now about my candies.
Well, she put an ad out. Anybody who wants, send her address.
Putting you on blast. I'm going to tell her you told us all
candy?
about it.
So far I had a pecan cluster, which is just like butter.
Oh.
I also got, sorry.
Got any turtles?
Does she
got
have
any turtles over there? I need some of those.
Did she have crunchy what?
Crunchy frog? Anthrax ripple? Anyone? Oh, come on.
Anthrax ripple.
Spring surprise. Not any hardcore Monty Python fans in here.
No. It's I got it. That was a
the sole proprietor and owner of the Wizzo Chocolate Company.
That is a flying circus pit.
I never saw much of the flying circus.
Seriously?
Yeah. I saw most of, your main food group Monty Python movies, Life of Brian. Wait, maybe not. Maybe I don't think I've seen Life of Brian. I've only seen Holy Grail and Meaning of Life. And then I want to say another one, but I don't think it was Life of Brian.
I'm with you, Mick. Holy Grail was my introduction, and I don't get half the references. But
Meaning of Life, I thought, was the funniest, personally.
See, the flying circus, I liked the movies, and most Terry Gilliam films too. Like Time Bandits and such. Time Bandits is fucking amazing. But the flying circus, absolutely peak comedy. Like Benny Hill without all the chicks.
Poor Benny Hill.
Yeah, Benny Hill with no Benny Hill and no chicks. What's the point?
Well, no, there were chicks, except they were all just played by the dudes.
No, I discovered an interesting fact the other day. I was watching. I follow a Shakespeare channel on YouTube, and they specialize in old obscure telecine programs from the early '60s and afterwards. Benny Hill was actually in a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Really?
And I was sitting there watching it, and he pulled me out of it And
With the
he did
Acme
a bad enough
stacks.
job. It was excellent, but I kept expecting him to, smack somebody in the back of the head.
It's interesting.
like-
The best you often hear, like the best comedic actors start as serious. I'm trying to think. There was somebody else like that was just the most serious dramatic actor ever, and then became comedic. But yeah, comedy's hard to do. It's way harder, I think.
Yeah.
Like the best Jim Carrey, all these
they're
guys
all comedic.
they're great at drama.
If you, I know a lot of the people listening to us have Prime. If you have the Shout Factory channel option, which is fairly cheap, and they show a lot of good, shitty kind of movies that I like, exploitation and shit like that. But they also have like 90% of the episodes of the old Dick Cavett show, and it was like from the 70s, before most of you were born. And they had a lot of, stars of the day on it. And he did like a 3-episode interview with Laurence Olivier. And he was one of the funniest motherfuckers who ever lived. Seriously. You watch that and I dare you to not hold your fucking ribs. Because he would like quote some, from some play. And like the first thing he says when Dick Cavett's talking to him, he's like, Dick Cavett's like, so how do I address you? Do I address you as Mr. Olivier, Lord Olivier? And he looks at him and says, you can just call me Larry. And then after that, shit just went off. It was fucking funny as hell. So yeah, a lot of serious actors are, for lack of a better term, hidden comedians that didn't do stand up or improv or anything like that, but they just have that comedic gift, which is fucking awesome.
Well, it's like Kat says. I mean, comedy is harder. I was talking about it the other day with Cranky Gordon, that the 80s were the peak of comedy. Between stand-ups, improv, TV sitcoms, movies, because, I mean, all the movies we default to are from the, like Weird Science and Stripes and, Mickey and mine's favorite, Where the Buffalo Roam and shit like that. That was just the high time for comedy. And yeah, a lot of people who went on to become serious actors later, like Robin Williams and shit, they were doing the stand-up thing too. So yeah.
Well, and vice versa. A lot of the comedic actors started by being very formally trained. Yeah, the timing of it. It's easy to be dark and moody and in angst. It's not so easy to make people laugh.
Yeah, anybody can be a teenager.
Right. Yeah.
You have to be
dramatic acting. Whenever I see a movie, I'm like, this shit's easy. Most actors aren't even that good. They're just all kind of doing the same thing.
Well, see, I think you're conflating the fact that, like today's actors are actually actors. They're not. They're performers.
Yeah.
Right.
They're script readers.
They don't apply any serious skills.
Well, that's why we pull so many from UK. I'm always shocked that literally half the people in our shows and movies, you see them in a real life interview, are like, oh, this guy's not even American, because they still take it real seriously over there. That formal type training you're talking about.
I mean, most TV shows are filmed in Vancouver, Canada right now. That's where a lot of the best actors are coming from. It's like Rick and I have talked about on many shows where you got the sci-fi to Hallmark Channel corridor going on up there. It's like when they're young and hot, they're on Sci-Fi Channel. Then when they age out and get milfy, they're on Hallmark.
Nice. Well, just think about youngsters here, what they're into. How often do you hear about young people getting into theater in the States? It's like, yeah, maybe you take drama in school or whatever, but you go over to England and it's like everyone's doing theater from a young age.
Well,
they appreciate it.
To be fair, in England, they celebrate kids that go into theater. Here, we beat the shit out of them, so...
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's not a cool thing here.
Theater nerd.
Yeah, exactly. What's really random, bizarre?
I was Christmas type nerd.
Well, you just touched on something interesting too.
When we were BC, but thanks for sharing.
For some reason, in my town, the coolest elective to take was chorus. Like, for all the degenerate kids, we wanted to be in the chorus class. And she was the coolest teacher. And we would do, like, Christmas shows and sing and shit. But looking back, it's like it's really random and weird that we were all into chorus, but yeah, same vibes.
Well, first of all, you just admitted you get to get out of class. Second of all, your teacher was female, so just saying that probably had something to do with it.
To this day, I can remember the names of 2 or 3 teachers, and she's one of them. So that says a lot right there.
Oh, same here. But I also remember that Miss Stewart, I'll always remember that time we met 2 years after I graduated. And yeah, okay.
Here's
Not
to
John,
you,
Miss Maynard.
Mrs. Robinson.
62 at the time, so we weren't thinking about that, but she was cool as shit. Miss Wine, though. They moved me out of Miss Wine's class because I was the only boy, and they thought it would make me uncomfortable, and I was not happy about that. And she was like 24 or something.
So
no, I really do want to stay in this class.
So nobody told me that VC was actually secretly Dustin Hoffman. I'm just saying.
Yeah, in a way.
We're all reminiscing now.
Right.
They're all thinking about our hot teacher. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I didn't have teachers like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had some that were very memorable, but I didn't have any that were just like, oh my god, I would. No, I didn't have any of those. That's why I'm looking at all these stories that are coming out now about teachers banging kids and kids banging teachers, and I'm like, where were these teachers when I was at school? Because that would have been.
What
awesome.
do you think? Well, listen, I was just going to say, what do you guys think about that? Because everyone always says like, where were they when I was? It's like, it is just different, right? Like if you're some 15-year-old dude, that's not.
Yeah, no. I mean, trust me. I mean, we all talk about it. Honestly, if I would have had a hot teacher like that would have tried to come on to me, I probably would have run away.
You know what it boils down to for me is that teenage boy could beat the fuck out of her if he needed to. Whereas that's not true of the reverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the mental aspect of it, though, and all of the damage that's going to fucking do.
Do you think so, though, Mick? If I'm a 16-year-old high school sophomore, junior, let's say I'm not a virgin, and there's some hot 24-year-old teacher, you think that's going to damage me, or you think I'm always going to think that?
No, I think there's going to be an emotional attachment, man. Look at the first chick that you had sex with.
Maybe. No, right. That's why I said if I wasn't a virgin. If she took my virginity, I agree with you. That's a huge
Even
deal.
if you had it, like, let's say she was your second or even your third, and you're still, at that young, impressionable age, and for some reason, this older broad knows what the fuck she's doing, right? So automatically, that's just going to make her the ultimate.
Hang on, let me get some little players.
Hey.
Totally else.
You're turning me on with this autoerotic biography you're painting here, Mick. Here's what I'm saying. Let's say I'm 16 and I'm a slut, dude, and I banged.
Yeah. So we're talking real life then.
Teacher wants to bang in the parking lot one day. All right.
Then,
no, I know it's frowned upon.
Fine. That it's a 1970s fucking rom-com.
Dude, apparently teenage boys having fun is frowned upon in this particular establishment. But no, I don't know. As a parent, I look at it completely differently now. But yeah, I'm just like, where was it? But also, I think it's different though because
when you look at it through parents' eyes, it's completely different.
Well, the other thing is, I don't remember there being so many young ass teachers when I was in school. It was like you used to have to go to school for forever to be a teacher or something. Because every teacher I had, now granted, I'm looking at this from like the lens of a kid who's 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. But every teacher that I had for the longest time looked like a grandma. So
and yeah, that's because they were actual teachers. See, the problem is now is that you get these girls who think they go back, they get into teaching, so that way they can go back to school to be the queen bee that they weren't in high school. Because now they're in charge. All the other girls have to listen to them. They want to be the most popular, the most, everything. And so they're emotionally broken, but also educating your children, or you in this case. So, yeah, I mean, no, hard pass.
And also...
But also, a 16-year-old dude isn't going to think, "Wow, she's emotionally broken. I'm not going to hit that."
Well, I mean, it's 16. It definitely wouldn't have been a soft pass. I'm just saying.
You're saying disparaging things about grandmas. Why?
Right.
They know more shit than you'll ever learn. Seriously.
Well, like
So I'm dating
when
an
I
83-year-old now, and boy, the things she knows, huh?
look when I say grandma, I'm not talking like the Who's the Boss lady. I'm talking about like Mrs. Claus like looking grandmas. So there was nothing there. Is what I'm saying.
And everybody talks about Marianne and Ginger on Gilligan's Island, man. I'd be at it with Mrs. Howell. She knew things.
Absolutely.
You'd only be on it with Mrs. Howell because you could take Thurston. Just saying.
Also true.
Well, yeah, what's he going to do?
Boy, we're in the Christmas spirit here, aren't we?
Hey, we're talking about giving. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Back to
Absolutely.
teachers sleeping with your students.
And gifts.
I mean, I'm sorry. The hot teacher is kind of the gift that keeps on giving.
Every damn day. But to your point, though, I mean, Van Halen sang about it, but I don't remember it in my school.
Well, the truth of it is the opposite. Yeah, the opposite's way more common is the girls with the older guy. I mean, even forgetting teachers, I'm sure it was the same with you guys. Half the hot chicks by senior year were dating grown men outside of high school, whereas you'd never see that with. It was very rare you see that with a dude because no older girl wants to date some high school dude, but every college and early 20s local weirdo wants to date a high school girl. You know what I mean? So that was way more common than the dudes getting the hot older chick. That's like the shit you just see in movies.
Yeah, no, you have a point. But yeah, anyway.
What if we could go back with our minds now and relive all of those teenage moments? I wonder how different it would be.
Well, so my first question though is I think we need to frame this a little bit differently before we get into the what if scenario. If you had that option, would you take it? Is my first question.
In a heartbeat, I'd want to feel young again like that. And by the way, without being too just on top of what we're talking about, as I think about this, I'd be so much less discriminatory toward dorky girl. I would bang every dorky girl there was because it was like I look back and I go, what the fuck was I so picky for? Because you think you're just going to be young and banging 17-year-old chicks forever, and you're not. And yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Besides, how many of those dorky chicks turned into absolute fucking smoke shows?
Oh my god!
It's like you run into them later. It's like God, yeah.
But that's the thing. That
Absolutely
dorky girl
that.
is hotter than every other chick is ever going to be over a certain age. So regardless, it's like, who cares if she's a weird nerd who's just like, yeah, I should have just been running through it, and I was not enough of a slut at all for sure. That's what I would redo. Not that I'm a.
I was just an idiot in high school. Like I got flirted with all the time and never even knew. Like I was oblivious. In college, I started looking back at some of the interactions that I had especially my junior year in high school, and I'm like, holy shit, she was like straight up flirting with me, and I just completely missed it. I feel like a dumbass. So, yeah.
I was always going for some hot, unattainable chick that I really wanted, and I would have these nerdy other weird girls trying to hit on me, and I would be like picky about it. Like, why?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like what Orty said too. It's like the hot in high school chicks kind of peaked then, and then you see them like 10 and 20 years later, and you're like, holy shit. And then you see all the ones that you tried to run away from in high school, and they're like fucking hot as hell now, and you're like, what was I thinking? Anyway, yeah, I'm past that point too, because I'm about to hit my 30th reunion. So.
What else would you guys do differently if you could go back and relive your teen years, knowing what you know?
I think I would be a lot more confident than I was, because as I aged,
yes.
I learned one thing. I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but I have learned through interactions with members of the opposite sex is that, and I'm not, blowing my own horn here, but I have amazing sex appeal. I can talk any woman into anything.
Well, I mean, you can't blow your own horn. We've already established that you're Dustin Hoffman, not Ron Jeremy.
When you talk, brother.
Hey. After the show, we'll talk. But but if I had applied what I know now, going back, I would probably be in a lot more trouble. I think, anyway. But yeah, it's
mean,
entirely about confidence.
Confidence is a great answer because, yeah, it is wasted on the youth, not just wisdom. You're right. We're all so much more confident as adults, and the shit we worry about back then is silly, for sure.
Okay. I know we all did, but seriously, we all grew up under the threat of a thermonuclear exchange. None of us knew tomorrow was guaranteed. I mean, yeah, that's true in all generations because you could just have a heart attack and just flop out at any point. But
when I was a kid, I helped my dad build a bomb shelter.
Right, exactly. Because some fool parked a couple of dozen missiles 20 miles off of Florida. Yeah. I had
Pavarotti coming out their asses.
I'm trying to teach Seaman Jones here something about the 80s. But I had a teacher who was he was doing some bull, like how to diagram sentences, stuff like this. He's all, none of this matters. You're all going to die in a nuclear war. And we're all just sitting there just like, yeah, okay, but still, what is the subject? What is the predicate? So, yeah, I mean, so.
Well, that's why I always say me and Mickey's tail end of Gen X is the best gen, because that shit was over by the time we were like teenagers or even adolescents, and I was like that late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s. I'd say all through there. It was such a sweet spot in society. I felt like before the internet and cell phones.
That's probably what's wrong with kids today.
Pre 9/11,
constant nuclear incineration.
Listen, the period between the Cold War ending and 9/11 to me was the societal sweet spot. Really, microwave TVs or microwave ovens, color TVs, MTV. There was no threat of war. Nothing crazy was going on. The economy was good. To me, everything was just kind of perfect.
Society was kind of cool too, man. I mean, like things were going in a pretty open and positive direction, I think.
Yeah, the dorky 80s was over. The 90s was like grunge music and Tarantino movies, and everyone was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hyper-colored T-shirts.
Right. But to answer the question, I probably would have gone to more shows. There's a lot of shows I didn't go to just because, like, fucking whatever. But yeah, no, I would have gone to a lot more concerts, a lot more gigs, seen a lot more, like Minutemen, seen more Fire Hose, seen more Devo, all that.
I totally would have done the same, man. And there were so many shows I didn't go to growing up that I wished I would have.
Yeah. Because it's like when you see the set list now, you'll see some like shitty YouTube video of the show that you were going to go to, but you kind of blew off, and you're like, "Fuck! That would have been awesome." And also, all the hot chicks were there.
I was very lucky in that regard because the shows that I did go to were absolutely fucking phenomenal. I mean, I saw Bowie live 5 times.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you go back and look through, in the 80s and 90s, a lot of people did concert films. If you go back and look at the concert film that the Police did for the Synchronicity Tour, that was the third night that they did in Atlanta at the Omni. Yeah, I was there.
Nice.
It was a fucking amazing show. They were all so coked up, it wasn't funny.
I'm always jealous of you guys, 70s and 80s shit before, because some of that's so iconic. Like Orty was like, I went to a lot of shows for a youngster, but yeah, you don't appreciate it at the time. You're like, this band in their prime is gonna just be iconic for the rest of my life, and it'll never be like that again. Yeah, I would have also gone to way more concerts. That's a really good answer for sure. Our parents dropped us off at Poison when we were.
Right.
We were 8 years old, and our parents drove us to Roanoke and waited outside while we went into the Poison Rat concert in 4th grade.
That is awesome.
And that was my first show, and then I saw Motley Crue at the Garden the same year. Yeah, and you don't even realize at the time.
Who did they open for? They opened for Dio. During the whole no, it wasn't the Holy Diver tour. I think it was the Last in Line tour, the second album, and they opened for Dio. Man, they were fucking awesome. They played.
This was '87. They opened for Poison, and they really were. They were great. They had the two separate stages back then. Like they would do the side stage and then the main stage.
Yeah, I think I got dumped. I think it was like 12 or 13. I got dumped off at Magic Mountain like early in the day, and then just like, oh, by the way, Night Ranger's playing tonight. Get over to the payphone, call my parents, and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stay for this concert today. They're like, okay, no problem. We'll pick you up around midnight then.
Fucking Night Ranger. I saw them too. Holy shit. They played at Six Flags over Georgia.
Yeah, I think they were doing a Six Flags tour because Magic Mountain is Six Flags.
And I remember because they had that parachute ride, and I hooked up with this one chick. What was her name? Dana. Yeah, Dana gave me a hand job on the parachute ride. It's fucking awesome.
Gnarly.
Yeah, because where you got the concert, where I went to go see the concert, was right next to the Buccaneer, the big ship ride. Yeah, the big pirate ship looking thing. Yeah, so that was like,
yep.
Didn't get a hand job
that's
on
a
it.
fixture at every Six Flag park.
Yeah.
I think they have one everywhere.
It's the law.
The hand job?
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
Is there enough time on that ride?
Back at that age,
apparently there was.
That's like,
more than enough.
The parachute ride went so slow because they hoist you up real slow, and it was about tower's about 200 feet tall, and it takes you about a good 5 minutes to go up to the top. So yeah,
this is like the Reese Witherspoon Marky Mark scene in reverse from Pier.
See, that's when you got time to finish and have that awkward look before the parachute drops.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about? On the fucking what are they on? What's that one that goes the Ferris wheel? What is that? You know, I'm talking about the movie Fear from the early '90s. Mark Wahlberg plays that psycho stalker.
And Alicia Silverstone.
Reese Witherspoon, I think. Yeah. Young Reese Witherspoon, and his fingers are on the Ferris wheel, and that's like the iconic scene. That was being reverse, getting the hand job on the parachute ride.
So, what happened to the Knuckle Babies? Did she launch them off? Did they splatter on the ground next to some unsuspecting?
No, they went into this was the '80s. Now you have to remember, they went into one of the tiger stripe bandanas that I had tied to my legs. Dude, I had everything. I had a fucking T-shirt with the sleeves cut off, that No Bozos one that Eddie Van Halen used to wear. I had parachute pants, and I had like 3 fucking different colored tiger stripe bandanas tied to my legs. And I had hair. Oh, dear God, did I have hair. Oh, man. Those were the days.
You got to dig out some pictures, dude.
I seriously have to look from my sister. My sister passed away last year, and she had basically every fucking photograph of me that was taken from the time I was 12 years old until about a year after I graduated high school. And she even had some pictures of me from basic training. I need to go through that box and start digging. And yeah, I'll post a few.
Hell yeah, dude!
Starting to feel like we're like in the presence of an '80s legend here or something.
I think we are.
See, because I was on the other end of it. I had the spiky mohawk with the bangs down to my chin, the pinned Levi's over combat boots, and the flannel wrapped around the waist before it was grunge cool.
So you were one of those, okay?
Yeah, yes, and the skateboard, the ever-present skateboard, the Scott Oster Dogtown.
I had the skateboard.
Okay, don't get
I was a youngster, but
I pictured Orty as more of a Robert Smith kind of guy.
No, that's just that's
black.
Well,
that's
got
like the huge fucking like mushroom head of hair and the eyeliner and all that, and walking around saying how bad he felt to women, so he could get hand jobs on parachute rides.
No, I was the skateboard BMX surf punk. So California, different, same but different.
That was a nerd.
Skateboarding was life, man. Back then, everybody What did I say one time? I said society was better when every kid knew how to at least do an ollie. Like, there wasn't a kid in town that didn't have a fucking skateboard in the 80s. You know, with
Absolutely. That or a BMX bike. If you couldn't pull a wheelie for at least
Yes.
30 seconds, you were fucking useless.
Yeah.
with the pegs on the back so your buddy could hop on.
Yeah.
You
Seriously, okay.
bars and-
Okay, we're gonna do the poll here. Red line or Diamondback?
Oh, Diamondback was more my generation for sure.
Diamondback, no question.
I had the red line.
Yeah, Diamondback.
Always an outlier, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
How about skateboards? Steve Caballero, everyone had. I had the Tommy Guerrero board was my fave though. I don't know. That was a different gem, but we sew the pad, the denim jacket. I would sew like Powell Peralta shit on, man. We were fucking into it.
I had the Scott Oster Dogtown Scott Oster. I had the Par Waylander Pal Peralta, and that was my pool board. And what else did I have? I had something.
Yeah, you had to have Powell Peralta in the '80s, or you weren't.
Yeah, one. Yeah, like, that one. Yeah. Oh, I had.
Independent trucks.
I had absolutely no skateboard related things except maybe for grip tape.
I was just gonna say I missed
grip tape on my 1911.
It was so much fun putting the grip tape on and the new wheels and the trucks and everything. Just thinking about it, using the blow dryer.
Your hair?
Yeah, you had to have. No, I was like,
I know.
put your grip tape. Yeah. No, it was a whole years of our childhood was devoted to that. We weren't even good skaters, but it was just that was the thing to do.
German bearings, blockhead wheels, independent trucks.
Yeah. Smoke. What were they called? Smoke something? The wheels.
Let's see. There was the Speed Wheel Scream. That was the Santa Cruz ones, I think.
You had to have independent trucks for sure.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days, man. We used to build ramps, like out of just plywood.
That you stole off a construction site that had no transition to it, and you went faceplant right into the asphalt.
Oh, dude, we had no clue.
Did that with BMX bikes. Yeah, we had no construction.
It was plywood and cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There's your ramp. Now I'm going to jump over 5 friends, and the fat one's going to get it right in the gut.
And then his parents are going to come see your parents.
Right.
Where I grew up, though, mountain bikes were really the thing. It was BMX, but because we were in the hills, and by middle school, you had to have a cool mountain bike. I didn't ever, you had to have. Finally, Trek was the bike to have, but we were on a budget. I had this cheap ass Schwinn for a long time, but either way. That was all right. It weighed like 3 times what all my friends' bikes weighed.
Back in the day when Ned Overend was like the king of mountain biking, he rode a Schwinn. So yeah,
they were good Schwinns, but I had the cheapo Schwinn that weighed. My friends had like the titanium Treks, and I eventually got a decent one that was nice and lightweight. But yeah, we were always back on the wooded trails with the mountain bikes.
You got to start early. My first skateboard was a Veriflex Manata board, so
yeah.
You gotta walk before you can run.
You know what's cool is roller skates came back.
No,
the blades went away. Kids are going to the like the skate parks. And not parks. What do they call them? Like the
skating rinks.
Roller rinks. I blame the Barbie movie.
No, it's been a few years now. Kids got back into it.
Yeah, we're back around to everything old as new again. So
I don't think you can blame that.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those cyclical things with history. We're back around to the 80s stuff is kind of cool again. I've noticed a lot of the kids are trying to pump their hair back up again, and they're getting pissed off because they can't find the right kind of hairspray to do it, but they're still trying to do it anyway. They're back to doing the whole skating rink things, at least for the ones that go outside.
It's always Aquanet. Always Aquanet. And if you were a guy, you went and looked for the unscented. Aquanet.
Well, the young dudes have their bangs all fluffed out now. That's the TikTok haircut.
That's so flock of seagulls. Mine was just dep or egg white, Depending on how spiky I wanted that hawk.
Depp.
Dude, I
LA
remember
looks.
because, oh my God, oh shit, back in the 80s, you had very little choice. I mean, they had hairspray for men, they had Consort. And I remember because I told my mom I needed some hairspray, and she went grocery shop, and she came back with Consort. And I tried this shit. I'm like, the fuck is this? This is not Aquanet.
This has no hold.
And she just looked at me, like the look the mom gives you when, are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, after that, it was always Aquanet.
Consort. I used Aquanet as a
Consort.
Aquanet makes a good propellant.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't
Oh,
at one
absolutely.
point use Aquanet to do
Potato launchers.
No.
Exactly.
Daredevil stunts with your Matchbox cars. So you sprayed enough Aquanet,
Yes.
and you hit it with a lighter, and then send your Matchbox car down the track to jump over going full Evil Knievel.
Childhood pyromania.
Mickey knows though the PVC potato launchers was definitely
Yeah.
a thing. Those were fucking sick.
I had a fucking badass one that I made when I was a kid with the rear end of it had a hole drilled through it, and I used a briquette lighter. So it was basically like a giant rifle.
That's what we all did. We all used those fucking grill lighters. Exactly. You'd fill them with the hairspray and you'd stick that thing in there and light it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could kill somebody with one of those things.
Oh, dude, they were fucking gnarly.
I guarantee you that's against the law now. I guarantee you're not allowed to.
It would put you on a fucking watch list.
Like back then, like they banned lawn darts a long time ago. Bro, we were running around with BB guns by like 7 years old. You know what I mean?
Different breed, man. We were all about that anarchy.
I
had my first 22
they were like
9.
metal black guns with no orange tip, nothing.
I know. We did okay with all that shit. We're the generation they need to fucking worry about.
Well, have you seen the TikTok video where it's like, hey, has anybody checked on Gen X? Are they okay? And everyone's like, no, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. They're fine. don't wake that giant.
Yeah, there's like a million of them. My favorite one is this little like fucking Asian kid, Gen Z, whatever. Like, why are we letting Gen X off the hook? Why does nobody ever talk smack about Gen X? And so, because to somebody else, they're like, don't, just don't, bro, just don't. And then this Gen X chick comes on and just starts laying this kid out.
I like it. They're the original fuck around and find out.
I mean, we grew up at a completely different time, though. I mean, we were. I mean, this was before they really had a lot of the whole CPS was barely a thing. Your parents could leave you home alone for days at a time, and nobody gave a shit. You could get sent to this corner store with a note and $20 and come back with everything your mom needed. Because I know I did it several times.
Cigarettes.
My mother used to send me My mother used to send me to the store for smokes all the time.
Get one for her, one for you. That was how it worked. It's like I'll make the trip, but you need to put down the Benson Hedges Ultralight 100s and the Marlboro Reds. Okay.
My mom used to send me to the store for her groceries and shit, and I would wear long sleeves, and they had the cigarettes out in like the aisle. This is like they were, and I would fill my sleeves with cigarettes, and I would get all her, because if you're paying for $100 worth of groceries, they don't think you're a thief, and I would just be stuffed with like 20 packs of smokes, and then I would just check out and pay for all her groceries, and I was like, that was one of the main ways. I even did this all through high school. It was one of the main ways I kept my cigarette habit. I'd be like, Mom, you need me to grocery shop for you? I got you. And I would just go steal. I would walk in, I would stop there first, load up the cart with smokes, and then go shop. And as I was shopping, I would just slip them all into my clothes. That was my regular
with a
way to do
pair
it.
of tight athletic socks, calf length, you could fit 12 packs of cigarettes.
Well, I would do the tight wristed like sweatshirts and stuff, like where they have, where it cinches at the wrist. And I would fill my sleeves, like the baggy sweatshirts. Yeah, it was my method.
Nice.
Yeah, what were you guys saying a minute ago about fucking my favorite Gen X meme? I just reposted the other day something about like the generation that turned 30 at age 10, but then managed to remain age 30 at 50. Because it's true, it's like you grew up the fastest, but then we all remain immature, delinquents somehow too. It's like this weird dichotomy.
Well, it goes with the nuclear war thing. That's what it says. Like we're all of a sudden forced to find a way to live. So we just found our happy little niche, and just I'm rolling with it. Fuck it, this is me.
I mean, yeah, think about it though. I mean, we literally thought we literally thought we were going to see like 20.
Mortality.
Anyway, I think I stepped on somebody. So what were you saying?
Yeah,
PG?
yeah. That was VC.
I just said, at that age, you were profoundly aware of your own mortality.
Right.
Regardless of the fact that you went out and, jumped plywood ramps with your fucking BMX bike or went down a fucking hill at 60 miles an hour on your skateboard. But
or
you knew at any moment. Yeah, exactly. You would be acutely aware in the back of your mind that at any minute your life could end in a massive fireball.
But that's the thing, though, is I think that explains a lot of it, too. Is like, you know what? I'm going out on my terms, not theirs. Because basically, we were the Jackass generation. It was our generation that, it's like Jackass took all the stuff that we did as kids and went, yeah, you know what? Let's make a TV show out of that.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. We were left alone to... That's the thing. The idea that we could leave the house in the morning on our bikes and not tell anyone where we were going or check in, and there's no way to reach us, and you'd be out with your friends in the wood blowing shit up and fucking destroying things and shooting stuff with BB guns. It's like, you can't suppress that stuff. You got to let that natural energy out. And people seem to think you have to suppress it more is the answer to all this. Like, the shootings, we have to suppress it. It's like, no, you have to let boys release that stuff, or it's going to manifest into some weird.
That's exactly what it is. It's helicopter.
That's what I mean. You're suppressing everybody's natural. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's social Darwinism. Gordy knows what I'm talking about. Remember, was it Necromancer or Count Zero that had that line?
I think it was the Mechanist.
The researcher had his finger on the fast forward button with regard to social Darwinism.
Yeah. You mentioned you guys. Okay, the one I had, one of the ones I had, it was and if you had one or if you knew somebody that had one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was the M119A. It was Freon powered, not CO2 powered, and it would hold 3,000 BBs and purge itself in less than a minute.
And you needed a can of Freon.
Yeah.
I had that CO2 revolver that was big in the 80s, and getting those cartridges was such a treat because they were always running out. It would be like, even to let your friend burn off a cartridge was like a big deal. You know what I mean?
That was like the big Crossman pistol that looked like a fucking Colt Python with the fucking
exactly
barrel on it.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That one that was the one to have, and I finally. Dude, before that, I had it looked like a fucking Glock, and it shot. You could rotate the interior barrel. It shot BBs, pellets, darts, or bolts. And
I had a Ruger one like that.
It came with like these metal fucking bolts.
Back in the 70s, there was a Japanese company. I forgot the name of it, but they actually made scale models that you could build and put together of actual pistols. 1911s, Luger.
Yeah.
There was one. I got the actual Smith & Wesson Model 29 with the 6-inch barrel that Dirty Harry used. They had mainsprings. They had all kinds of stuff, and it was an actual working thing. I mean, it couldn't actually fire ammunition, but you put in all the internals and all that stuff. You could pull the hammer back, and the cylinder would rotate, pull the trigger, and all this stuff. And there were no orange caps on the end of it. I mean, I used to.
No, that's what I mean.
Even in when I was a kid, and I had just built a 1911. And, I had it, I was like looking at it and playing with it. And I walked over to the bar because we didn't live that far away from it. It was like a 2-minute walk. And I brought it in there, and all of the barflies that my dad knew, they were like sitting there going like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And, they weren't doing it in a shocked face. They were like, "Oh my God, that's so fucking cool."
That's a cool model.
And one of them like takes the gun from me. He's like twinking at my dad. He's like, "All I wanted was a lemon, Larry." And he's like, "Give me that fucking gun."
It's a different time.
Oh, the days.
Dude, my best friend Hunter. Long story short, his granddad was gun fanatic collector. Must have had 200 guns in the house, in safes and display cases everywhere. But there was also, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 in every room, just in the table drawers, out on the table. They were everywhere. And he took a 9 home with him when we were in like 8th grade, and he basically stole it from his granddad's house. And he was fucking around with it in his bedroom one day, and it went off and shot into his ceiling. Missing his face by, I don't know, a couple inches, like it shot straight up. And we've talked about it a lot, but everyone would have thought he killed himself, which would have been a really wild thing. And he told his mom that, speaking of lawn darts, he told his mom that he threw a lawn dart at the ceiling. There's a big hole in the fucking ceiling of his bedroom. And then he also got busted later on for stealing the 9 separately, and they never put it together because they're like, granddad's missing a 9mm, and he copped to it, and he had it in his room. But yeah, man, it was always so creepy because we're like, dude, like we would all just assume he took home his granddad's gun and shot himself in the face, But he was just being an idiot. And that was like I don't know. I always say we weren't stupid with guns because everybody knew how to shoot when we were young, like even at camp and stuff. But yeah, people were still pretty dumb and doing dumb shit, that's for sure. Just not on purpose. Nobody was shooting up a school. That's for sure.
I had, and I can't believe I bought this at a hobby store. I had a replica ship's cannon. It was small. It was probably about 6-8 inches long. You had a hole for the fuse. You packed the powder in it. You packed the wad in it. You packed a 44 caliber ball into it. And it had this little ram, and it was a working fucking cannon, a 44 caliber cannon. No problem.
Nope.
Yeah, it was cool. I actually shot the hole in the back of the houseboat we were on out on Lake Powell. Through it. The barrel dropped and it went right through.
Are you from Utah?
No, but I've been out on Powell quite a bit. Friends of ours had houseboat out there.
I'm close with some people that live right by there. They're at Powell all the time, out in St. George.
Yeah, St. George, Cedar City. I spent a couple summers up in Bryan Head. My dad was doing some construction out there.
Yeah, that's where they all ski. It's the only local spot. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Powell's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nothing like it. Nothing like. So blue.
Yeah.
That contrast against those red rocks like that. It's really pretty.
So yeah, Christmas. All right.
Right around the corner, man. See, now that we've talked about all the toys the cool toys that we had, I'm sure some of them were Christmas. Mickey, you there?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just zoned out. I'm sorry. Listening.
Are you bacheloring it up? Is Lorena away?
No, she's here. She got in. She was out in Mexico City. She got back like Monday.
Do you pronounce it the right way? Say it the Spanish way.
Lorena.
Yeah, that doesn't sound authentic. Or you got to work on that.
See, he went quiet when I was talking about hand jobs on the parachute ride. So he's like, "Hey."
He was getting one.
Yeah, he was probably getting one while you were talking about it.
Mickey, I'm convinced you're going to have to return that thing to a Mexican cemetery where all the old Yucatan kings are buried.
My Frida skull that she brought me.
Yeah, it just screams Brady Bunch all over it, man.
Yeah,
that's a tease.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Dude,
You know,
This is
that
bad.
too.
the first day I had it, everything at work just went phenomenally well.
Okay, so maybe it's the anti-tiki.
Or maybe things just work for me in reverse.
There you go.
Opposite. Everything is an opposite effect on me.
Well, then let's let you play with the demon core.
There were a couple of real big work gambles I took in the last week, and they all paid out very handsomely to the point where I even surprised myself. So I'm rolling with it, man.
Nice. Just say, yeah. I mean, yeah. You need that. You need to get that good vibe at work back.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, it's been a hell of a year, dude.
I know it's interfering with all of our shows.
My upswing. I know, man.
Everything's coming up, Mickey.
Been really
Everything's
hard
coming up, Blowtorch.
Got to. It's just hard, to be so busy and then try to be genuinely entertaining. And one thing I'll never do is force it. So when I start doing that, it's time to step away, and that's what I've been doing.
I haven't done my pod in months because I go through the same kind of thing you do, Mick.
Yeah, it's tough when you overexert yourself like that, and you don't have any energy left to give out.
Even not the energy, it's that I don't want to give the wrong energy.
Yeah, that
it's
too.
Like,
sure.
That's why I haven't done it in a while, because it's like I want to make sure it's got the right intent behind it. But then I struggle with that because a lot of people will tell you just be consistent no matter what. You know what I mean? Like push through it and fake it when you don't feel it and all that type of advice.
No, absolutely not.
Well, I think it depends what you're trying to accomplish. If I needed to do it to survive, that would be the answer, right? Because then it's like, well, I have no choice. But
in this case,
it's weird when it's like a passion project or it's a creative thing, and I'm with you.
Yeah, we're artists, basically.
Yeah, I'm like Van Gogh. That's how I look. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm with you. It's when you're trying to be creative and just kind of put your heart into it, and then you feel like your energy is, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's weird to get on and just talk about stuff. It's in your heart.
No, I understand what you're saying, because I feel that way a lot when I'm on Twitter, and I'm sure you guys have noticed that I have off days where I'm not feeling it. And so I'll log off for the day because, despite the fact that I'm overly snarky at times, I try to be as positive as I can. And if I go on there and I don't feel positive, then I don't feel I'm being true to myself or to anybody else who follows me. People follow me for a reason. They want recipes. They want, cocktails. They want wit and dry, no coward, brittle bon mot, that kind of thing. But if I go on there and, act depressed and I don't have my shit together, then there's not much fucking point in doing it.
Yeah. Especially if it's not a profession.
That's the way I look at it anyway.
We want to be able to enjoy what we do with this.
I mean,
I have to be authentic.
Yeah. If you're forcing it, you're losing a huge organic piece of everything that makes it so genuine when it plays out.
I also felt like my shit got tired and repetitive, and that's why I was like, I'm gonna come back when it's like I have like a fresh, less numb perspective.
I don't know. You only had Mickey and I once.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah,
that was a great show. That was fun.
We got to get back, man. This is the longest I've ever been off of it. So, yeah. Actually, I recorded a whole episode driving a month or two ago. And I had a lapel mic and I didn't power it on. So I recorded like an hour plus on mute. And after that, I was like, fuck that.
What kind of subject matter did everybody miss out on?
Oh, man. I was driving up A1A pontificating about life. I don't even remember what the hell I said. I was winging it. It was months worth of pent-up thoughts. But
So you're basically Jack Burton in the Pork Chop Express, just you forgot to turn your CB on.
I wish I got that reference because I'd probably be laughing really hard.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, okay. I actually do know that one.
Apparently not.
I'm terrible with names. Well, I pointed this out to you last time that you guys are better with characters' names than any people I've ever met in my life. Like, I'll literally be in the middle of a series, like season 3, and I'm still like the blonde guy, the son. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know the actor's name. I don't know the character's name.
I think that's another aspect of Gen X that people tend to overlook is our ability to compile so much useless information in our heads.
And you guys in particular don't give yourself enough credit from the pop culture reference standpoint, because I'm telling you, the KLRM people in particular have the most insane pop culture references I've heard. All you guys.
I was so disappointed that this morning I threw out some Dark City posts and only a couple of people got them. I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to stop.
I was at work. I'm sorry.
Well, do you know the way to Shell Beach, Gordy?
Aggie, too. Aggie's always hitting me with some wild reference. That's like deep and layered. Yeah, you guys are very good with that.
Well, the recently gazetted Captain Charles is much better at it than I am.
You've shown your quality, sir.
What's everyone doing for Christmas?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just.
Yeah, I've got several olds on the street who don't have anybody, or their kids are like, we do Thanksgiving with you, and we're going to go do Christmas with her family, and so on and so forth. So I generally way overcook. I do this for Thanksgiving too. I way overcook and take plates to the olds on the street who have nobody there with them. So,
Ordy, you do that every year, and I always admire that and think that that's wonderful that you make that effort and enrich people's lives. Really, I think it probably makes more difference in their lives than you probably realize or give yourself credit for.
I just, I just don't, it's like, okay, so I'm cooking a beef tenderloin and palm salad. You want some? I'll bring you a plate. Yeah, but thank you.
You'd be surprised the number of people that don't even do that, though. So it's a lot bigger of a deal than you think. Because you do it consistently. Like every holiday, you're like, I'm cooking for the neighbors.
Not just the neighbors, the olds. In this
day and age, most people don't even know who their neighbors are anymore, bro, and you cook for yours. I'm just saying. So, yeah.
It's always the gruff ones with the biggest heart, isn't it?
He plays an asshole on Twitter, but he's really a softie.
Yeah, they're rough around the edges, but then they're just big softies in real life,
Yeah.
It's always the cynics that are the biggest romantics. That's an axiom right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a chicken egg argument there too, right?
Well, I mean, so
because they're cynics, or are they cynics because
right? Exactly. Are you romantic because you're cynical, or are you cynical because you're romantic? Exactly.
Well, I mean, there's a valid argument there. Like in psychology, they often say that the people that usually wind up being, the most understanding are the ones that have been through so much shit that they just don't want anybody else to go through that. So, I kind of see that.
I just think, and I think just think in general, I don't even think
similar. It's no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I don't even think you can teach it. Some people just seem to be deeper feeling than others, and I think that translates into the romantic passion and into the rough stuff. It's like all emotion comes from the same place. So, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, Robin Williams said the same thing. It was not too long before he took his own life that he went into comedy, to make people smile and feel happy, so they wouldn't end up feeling like he did most of the time. Because he had mental health problems, and in the end, it turned out he had a very serious brain disorder that caused him to feel the things he did and do what he did in the end. But yeah, I mean, anybody will tell you. Anybody who deals with depression or PTSD, and I'll say because I deal with depression. I want to make people laugh, and I want to make people enjoy themselves and smile because I don't want people to feel like I do sometimes. So there it is.
Well, and I think also any true romantic has probably had their heart broken pretty badly at some point over a lot of things, not even just...
Brother, I got scar tissue on my soul.
Right. So and I think nothing will make someone jaded and cynical like that kind of heartbreak, and it definitely goes hand in hand as well. I don't think everyone feels the same.
Every gray beard, every gray hair in my beard has a woman's name.
That's a lot of women's name there. But no, I mean, so it kind of goes back to that though. Because I've seen kind of the same things. Like there was a reel I saw recently, and it was a scene from a sitcom that I don't remember the name of, and it was a guy just going on a tirade because his friends were picking on him because he was gonna be he wanted to be with this one person. They're like, "Oh, you're nothing but a player," and he finally just starts going off. He says, "Yeah, I'm a player now, but I didn't start out that way. You know what makes guys players? Women make guys players." Because there's that first one that you went all in on and you threw everything you had at it and she broke your heart. So after that you started putting up walls and you started using sex as currency and you started doing this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, he's kind of got a point. So there's always there's like a fork in the road point where you can either let it make you cynical and harden your heart and go bang moms behind Circle K, or you can become even more.
Hey.
I was wondering if he was going to pick up on that. Or you can,
Hey, he provides a service, damn you.
Right. Cranky children need hot pockets, and I'm helping them.
I could take that line somewhere, but okay. I'm not going to.
Okay, but enough about me. BC, what are you doing for Christmas?
Well, I've reached the point in my life at my advanced age. I don't have that much family left. I mean, I have my sister. She lives down in Atlanta. She may come up. She may not. Either way, we'll talk on the phone for a little while. I've got my nephew up here, and he's got his friends, so they'll do like they did for Thanksgiving. They'll come over and eat me at a house and home, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I got me and I got the pug, so I'll buy her a couple of things, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You've all gone quiet.
Do you put on a pretty decent dinner?
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously.
Cooking is therapy for me. I'm going to. I was going to do a turkey, and then I said no. Maybe I should do a goose. And then I said no. I just bought a beef tenderloin. I'm going to cut it into some fillets and just give these guys the best steaks they've ever had in their life. So, yeah.
See, that's what I'm doing too. I'm going to Oscar them up, and
Very nice.
Yeah.
John, how's Hanukkah going, dude? Do you do the Hanukkah thing?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we just did the other night at my mom's house. We just the second to last night, and then I guess last night was the last night or the night before. I don't know. It all blurs together, but yes. It's mostly for kids. We just kind of, did some dinner with the candles. We're a very non-religious family, so basic. Hanukkah's not a religious holiday for Jewish people anyway. It's more of a fun kids holiday. It's not by any means like a high holy day or anything like that.
That still sounds cool, man.
Yeah, when you're a kid, it's fun, because the presents, and most kids, we always did, we'd have usually more than one if you only got it, but it's at least one present a night for the 8 nights, and it's exciting. You pick out, you select that one you want to open, you try to guess what things are. You might get something shitty, have to wait a night.
Nice.
Make latkes, potato pancakes, that kind of thing.
See, now you had me there.
Absolutely.
Man,
have you had the Jewish latkes?
Oh, yeah.
The sour cream or the applesauce? Yeah, pretty good.
My dad.
Oh, Manischewitz.
Manischewitz. Yeah, no, my dad's last wife, she was a 4'10" Jewish Italian American princess from Boston with red hair.
Oh, so she was crazy.
Oh, absolutely. But the best chicken noodle soup ever.
Yeah.
She didn't kill your father by any chance, did she?
He threw in red-headed, Italian, and Jewish all in one.
I've had
and
two
short
ones.
Yeah.
And
Never
short
again.
on top of it, so she had that extra crazy.
Like the perfect storm.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
that was
Short girls really do have the biggest attitudes, right?
They're nuts.
Well, yeah. I mean,
They always talk about the little man complex, but it's like women are even worse. It's like you see a 4'11" woman coming. Yeah.
My first fiance was 4'11", and she was Puerto Rican, so it was a double whammy. There was one time she got really pissed off on me about something, and I finally just looked at her and said, "Look, shut it, or I'm just going to put you on the fridge and walk away." She started crying because she knew I was serious.
But yeah, I always did both. I grew up with a lot of Christmas. We had my dad remarried a Catholic woman when I was like 8 or 9. And we did every year Christmas like upstate with her family. And then I married a Christian woman and did Christmas every year my adult life. So I, did a lot of both. Most of my life I had both, for sure. I like Christmas. I like the feel of it. I like the wintertime and all just the music and the magical feel. You know what I mean? If you remove the Jesus religious part, for me, I still love Christmas time. It's like you don't have to worship to appreciate.
It's fun.
Yeah, it does. It feels like Disney World for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I love the vibe.
The vibe, growing up especially, and it's cold out, and just all the music and the plays, and being out of school, and everyone exchanging gifts. It's just a nice time.
it is. It's the Bill Murray monologue at the end of Scrooged. Everybody's just a little bit nicer to each other, and
everyone's chilling and into their family love, for sure. And a lot of angst.
Back up, big guy. That might work on the chicks, but it doesn't work on me.
Oh, fun times.
Mickey?
Yeah?
What are you doing Christmas?
Well, I'm going to spend the morning with my family, which is just going to be my father, my uncle, and my grandma. And we'll have breakfast and open presents and things like that. And then I'll spend the evening time with Lorena and her family, which will be going on in the wee hours of the morning.
That was a much better pronunciation, by the way.
Yeah, it probably broke up.
We're working on it. Is she fluent?
Oh, yeah. English is her second language.
That's what I was trying to ask. Thank you for articulating that. Are you learning a lot of Spanish?
I've known quite a bit. I've been down here for about 15 years, so I speak like a caveman, though, from what I understand. I can actually understand most of the conversations if I can add in the body language to what they're talking about, and everything starts to make a little bit of sense. I might miss a little bit of the context, but for the most part, I can understand the conversation, at least get the gist of what's going on.
When they're making fun of you right in front of you, like her and her mom.
Yeah.
You get it now.
Yeah. You don't really know Spanish, you know, like landscape Mexican. Pretty much.
I had gotten to a point where I could understand. It is, you can understand it a lot easier. You can speak it, that's for sure. Even just being in South Florida, and my best friend was Colombian, and you just start to understand a big chunk of it for sure.
So her, when her family is together, they speak a mix. The younger generations predominantly they don't speak a whole lot of Spanish at all, and but her siblings and her parents, they'll speak Spanish together at the table, especially if there's any of the older folks around. And then so the entire evening's conversation will be mostly in Spanish, and I usually just sit there and space out.
So it's basically a telenovela.
Yeah,
Nice.
Basically. Sometimes if I'm bored, and I try to learn, is I've actually thought about taking community college. Do what? I've thought about taking community college and doing some Spanish that way. I tried Babel out. I think it would be awesome to be fluent,
Dude,
and I could very well take command of it if I just
Duolingo. I put that on my phone. I put it on my phone like a week ago. I've been doing Italian with it. It's fucking awesome, and it's fun too.
Well, I tried Babel out, and it was pretty cool. I'll take a look at that one. But really, it's just
so hard as
a matter of me
adult,
wanting to invest into learning.
Talk about being a kid, like kids just pick it up. We really are smarter in so many ways when we're kids, and that's such a huge example of it. The way if you just took a kid and put him in another country, he's fluent in 6 months.
Yeah, we really had the ability to learn more, and now I think we've developed so much muscle memory that kind of impedes that process at our age now.
Yeah, we're just so walled up and closed up, and absolutely.
Total immersion is really the best way to learn it. I saw a video not long ago on people who joined the French Foreign Legion. And they have one recruiting office in North America. It's in Columbus, Ohio. And once you get on the plane and head down to French Guiana to go through your training, do not speak anything but French, or they will smoke the living fuck out of you. Regardless of the language you speak, regardless of where you're from, everything is in French. And if you can't at least understand the gist of a conversation by your third week there, they kick your ass out. It is complete and total immersion. And these guys come out, they're not fluent by any stretch of the imagination, but they can take and give orders. They're conversational. And it's fucking awesome. I wish most people did that shit.
That's pretty cool.
My first wife's stepdad was in the French Foreign Legion. And he was AWOL from the French Foreign Legion. He was Dutch. And he came to America AWOL from the French Foreign Legion. So I'm just like, I don't know if that's terrifying or cool. Because I don't want to go on a cruise ship with a guy, then all of a sudden have fucking Francois pop out of a bowl of rice and cap him on the... See what I did? That was a Pulp Fiction reference there.
Yeah. Oh, we have found you, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
What are you going to do, Rick?
Well, my Christmas actually starts on Sunday. We do Christmas at my dad's usually the week before because he has a bunch of things going on Christmas Day, and usually so do I. So we'll do Dad's Christmas on the 17th, and then I was supposed to go to my oldest son's on Christmas Eve, but of course they decided to flip those plans around, so now I'm trying to see if the Christmas Day plans that I have can be flipped or not. And if not, then they're just out of luck, because they've decided they're doing Christmas Day at my youngest son's now at 2 p.m. like usual, and I'm like, well, I already made plans with my aunt on Christmas Day, because y'all told me we were doing a Christmas Eve, so if I can't flip them, then we'll just figure something else out. But yeah, there's usually about 4 or 5 different places I have to be to try to keep everybody happy for the holidays every year, so yeah. But yeah, so And then, of course, we'll do Christmas morning here with my 2 live-in kids and the granddaughter that lives with me. I'll always look forward to that. And usually there's a couple other grandkids that kind of trickle by throughout the day, and one of their presents I get them every year is a Nerf gun with tons of darts, and we just start running around the house shooting each other.
That sounds fun. Maybe I'll do that this year.
It started as accident. It started as an accident, and then it's kind of just become an annual tradition. So there's usually just an extra present that they don't get till they come to my house, and then we open them all at the same time, and then just start going nuts and shooting darts all over the place, inside, outside, it's everywhere.
I need a shop for my nieces, and I usually send them Christmas presents via Amazon. And one year, I guess they were about maybe 6 or so, somewhere around there, 6, 7, not that old, maybe 5, 4, 5, 6, something like that. So I got the oldest one a drum set.
Oh, so you're that uncle? Okay.
Some kind of like electrical guitar type thing for like kids, right?
Is this your sister's kids?
No, my brother's kids.
So your brother hated you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So they had a drum set, a guitar, and I think I got some other kind of loud-ass musical instrument, too. Just like the most obnoxious shit I could find. But I was mostly proud of, like, this full drum set for a tiny kid.
Were you trolling him on purpose, your brother?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's pretty much the only point of having a brother, especially if you're the oldest of the brothers.
Does the kids still play the drums?
I have no idea. They probably outgrew by now. It was like 2 years ago. Kids grow so fast.
Probably buried them in the yard after a week.
Yeah. Now his kids are different, man. They kind of live on a farm that he built on some property he's got out there in Montana. And so they're into like
it's called a compound in Montana.
But yeah, that's probably more likely what it is.
Like Dwight Schrute style.
They're riding around dirt bikes and raising goats and shit like that. So he's kind of actually like the cousin Eddie of the family, but he's my brother, cousin brother. No, that sounds weird.
He's your cousin brother. Y'all from Arkansas?
Yeah, that sounds like a porn category.
Bring it up. Like, there's one of those stupid fetish maps going around, or the porn search. Some of the stuff is just hilarious. Like something Texas had something creamy. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Creamy.
Yeah, California is Asian stepmom.
Asian stepmom. Classic.
Which most of that's I'm responsible for. I imagine.
Asian stepmom sounds like it could be like a Dead Milkman song.
Right.
Well, gentlemen.
Yes. Hi. Present.
I'm not high, but I want to be in a second. Oh, wait. That's not what you meant.
Well, what were you going to talk about your favorite Christmas memories, yeah?
Yeah.
What, I've got a few, I guess. I don't know. Or you were going to say the best gift you ever got?
Either or, both.
That's a good one. What's the best gift you guys ever got for Christmas? Or even expand that. The best gift you've ever got.
I think my most favorite gift that is, it's always one of my most favorite Christmases of all time. But I guess it was around 91, 92, something like that. It was the OG Game Boy. I was so obsessed with Game Boys. I wanted one so bad. And then one Christmas, I got one. And it was just the best. Playing Tetris for the first time. All that good stuff.
I still have mine, bro.
I do too, dude. I've got mine in all my games.
Same one from when I was like 11 or 12 or whatever I got it, yeah.
Dude, same.
Yeah. Awesome. Lived on that thing. I don't know if it works, but I know exactly where it is.
Mine still works. I fired it up not too long ago.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. I bet if I put some batteries in it, I mean, yeah, it never broke. Probably haven't turned it on in 20 years, but yeah.
I played
Tetris was life.
Hell yeah, dude. And then, like, Super Mario Land was pretty dope.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah, it's
Sight bike.
Hell yeah.
So that's one I ended up.
Total 90s kid toy, man. The ultimate 90s kid toy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking recently how ahead of its time Duck Hunt and the running pad work for Nintendo, the track and field. It's like, how did they get that gun to work pretty accurately on those shitty old TVs with that basic Nintendo? That was way, way ahead of its time, the Duck Hunt game. And the running pad, too, we had a ton of fun with. I don't know how they figured that out.
I wish I still had my old school NES.
I still have. I pawned one. I think I pawned my like N64 and all the games like 15 years ago. But I think I still have my Super NES and maybe my original Nintendo. I have a hard time parting with stuff. I got a lot of shit in boxes.
Dude, we were brothers from another mother.
Yeah, I mean, that generation. We probably started on Atari when you were a little kid and then switched to Nintendo like elementary school.
Yep, exactly. It was my progression there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think we're like a year apart. So.
Atari 2600. I got one the Christmas after my parents got divorced. And oddly enough, the only reason my mom bought it was because a doctor said it would help with my eye-hand coordination. So I got prescribed an Atari. And then I was hooked on video games ever since. So that was probably my youngest. Besides the Godzilla memory, that was probably one of my favorite presents. Was getting my first Atari, and then between junior and senior year, I got a Super Nintendo, and I found Wing Commander for the first time, and I spent the entire Christmas break playing the fuck out of that game on Super Nintendo. So that's probably still one of my all-time favorite memories, because it was right before I realized that the life of a kid is so much easier than you think it is till you find out you're not one anymore.
Super Nintendo Chalmers?
We lived on Techno Bowl was the fucking game, but then F-Zero on Super Nintendo. I probably spent more hours racing that F-Zero game on that Super Nintendo than anything. Those hovercraft racing games, I don't know if you guys played that, but I was obsessed for a minute.
Sega
Way more
Saturn
fun
CD.
back then.
What was that? I heard Sega.
No, I was just Sega Saturn CD, or no, Sega CD for the Genesis. Because fuck the Saturn.
Dude, that was like the coolest thing for the time, but some of the stuff on there was like super cheesy. Like, what was that game where you were like flying around in the sewer?
Sewer Shark.
Yeah,
God, that was fucking awesome. That was like.
I always had the Sega friends. You go to their house, you get to play Sonic or whatever.
Echo the Dolphin was the worst game fucking ever.
All right, everybody say bye to Mickey. He's got to go. I think he may have bounced.
Well,
already.
fine.
No, I'm gonna gracefully show my way out. Thank you for having me, guys. It was fun to be with all of you. I got to go eat dinner.
We know you got Mickey shit to do.
There's this play next week. Maybe you might have heard about it. Some people are doing Miracle on 34th Street. You might want to check it out.
I've heard some rumors about that. I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to definitely check that shit out.
No promises, but he's going to try and check it out.
You can check it out. So, if it's going to happen, which it's going to happen, it's going to happen next weekend, like Friday, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on KLRNradio.com, where we are going to give our intoxicated rendition of A Miracle on 34th Street, our third annual Christmas production. Is a thespian.
It'll be a miracle if we get through it.
Think they can pull it off? It'll be a miracle.
It'll be our fourth miracle.
A Miracle on 34th Street will be a partnership production between BBCBS and Mickey Blowtorch Productions.
LLC. All right, gentlemen.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure, as usual, and I look forward to seeing you all next Friday, right here.
Thanks for guesting on your own show, Mick. It was fun.
Eat some food, man.
Thank you for having me on my show. And God bless us, everyone.
There you go, man. Appreciate you, man.
It's been an honor serving with you, sir.
And he said, "Screw you guys, I'm out. I have food waiting." Oh, anyways.
I got the 2600, and I played so many fucking hours of Tank. To the point where when I saw Tron, and the line is, "I wish I hadn't written all those Tank programs," I could relate.
That's funny. Oh. Dude, Tron was the shit back in the day, too. I love that movie.
Still is. A lot of people don't realize that, she was Lacey Underall in Caddyshack. I mean, I did, but,
Yeah, but that's your job.
Well, normies don't.
Oh, fun times, fun times. All right, so who hasn't spoken about their favorite Christmas memories or holiday memories that are left with us?
I believe that'd be me. The best Christmas present I ever got was 11 years ago from my last girlfriend, as a matter of fact. It was a Tag Heuer Aqua Racer. A very, very, well, not very, but very, for normies, a very expensive wristwatch. And I still have it. I occasionally break it out and wear it once in a while. But yeah, she spent $22.50 on it, and it's a core. So I worry about it, getting serviced or getting springs changed or anything like that. Yeah, I still have it, and I still look upon it fondly on occasion. But other than that, Christmas was in my house. Christmas was geared toward my younger sister. I mean, I got gifts, I got BB guns, I got video games and stuff like that, but the majority of the Christmas funding was spent keeping my little sister happy.
Well, have you ever been around a woman when they're not happy? It's kind of a sound plan.
Yeah, more times than I care to count, but
it's kind of a sound plan. Keep the woman happy. It's kind of like the line from Star Wars, "Let the Wookiee win."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, I really do sound like an old, bitter divorced dude now. I'm sorry.
My favorites would have been, I would say, more like the event stuff we got to do. My dad specifically, and I just appreciated more too with him gone now and all. Like, we used to. My parents divorced young, so he was up in Jersey, and we would go up Christmas breaks. And he would always do, like, a full day with each of us, whatever the fuck we wanted to do. Like, we planned it in advance. I would say those days, going to, like, usually, like, WWF, some wrestling, and, like, a movie and shit like that. And, yeah, I would say those were my favorite gifts, aside from all the other just fun, normal, cool stuff, like you guys said, the BB guns and the video games and skateboard stuff.
Yeah.
Shoes, Vans, and what was the other, not Vans, what was that other brand of shit we'd always wear, like,
Converse.
No, there was another skate brand.
Vision Streetwear.
Not even Vision, shit.
Well, then I can't
I'll
help.
think of it. Anyway.
You'll think about it at 3 o'clock in the morning and text it out.
Yeah, so
that's
it'll
how
come
shit
to me
works.
when I'm sleeping tonight.
Yeah.
Cindy Crawford calendar, shit like that.
All the cool stuff.
It's funny to think that's what I would ask for when I was like an 11-year-old boy. Like, I want a Cindy Crawford. Like, to get that from your family, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, they knew, but you didn't know they knew.
Right. That's so funny. Yeah. And it's so funny to think about. Exactly. You realize later on, like, oh, fuck, they all knew. Yeah. That's funny. Very well said.
Oh, it's just like, oh, there's going to be so many soiled socks at the bottom of the hamper.
Yeah, why is he in the bath? Why are his showers 3 times as long?
The water's running all day.
Yeah. You think you're slick with it. You're so right. And then you realize later, like, it was just the most obvious thing.
Yeah, you were a cliche.
Yeah.
Generations old cliche.
Oh, that's funny.
You fucking meme.
Oh. So I did come up with one other kind of fairly more recent Christmas memory, at least, that I kind of enjoyed there for a little bit before my father-in-law passed away, when all the Lord of the Rings movies and the Star Wars movies and everything were out, because they were always coming out around Christmas time. We made it like an annual thing. Me and my boys and him would go check out whichever one of those movies was playing. So that kind of became an awesome thing. I still actually do that with my boys. Usually we'll pick one Christmas movie and go watch it together, and it's kind of become this weird thing. I always buy an extra package of peanut M&Ms and just leave them there until the end of the movie, because that was always his favorite thing to eat. Weird and sentimental, I know, but, you know, that man at times was more of a father than my actual father was, so I was heartbroken when he passed away. So, but not to be a downer towards the end of the show, but that was just something I thought of.
Thank you for sharing. That's holidays. They bring all that stuff forward too. Yeah.
That's what they're there for. I mean, you know, it's when you get your, you know, you're together with your family, and then when they, you know, like especially with like Vincent and I, when our families are dwindling down to one and none, you just have all the nostalgia and the memory berries.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think that's why I do a lot of the things I do around the holidays too, because my grandparents are gone, and you know, I also it's something I started doing, and you know, because of KLRN, was we had if you see in the chat, it's memorialized to him. Ron, he was always frequently alone on the holidays and wasn't too happy about it, so I made myself available on Twitter to anybody who was, you know, kind of alone and having a shitty day, and yeah, it's just that's actually kind of cool memories too. I mean, Twitter can be a force for good. Not often, but occasionally it can be a force for good.
There's a lot of kindness on there.
There is. And a lot of retards. Boatload of retards.
Yeah, but the retards are the plucky comic relief most of the time.
They really are. You know, it's people. Why are you always fighting with that 54 follower account? I said, well, it's more educational for you guys than anything else. You know, I'm taking the hit so you don't have to. You can step away.
Why are you fighting with first name bunch of numbers?
Right. Because they have shitty opinions. I actually said that at work the other day. I came walking in. The boss was already there. Usually I beat the boss in, but he was there. And well, sorry, somebody was wrong on the internet.
I can actually picture you saying that too. That's
it's
funny.
like, oh, I had to answer a Simpsons quote tweet.
Right. I hadn't GM'd yet.
Oh.
I used to do a lot of it, man. As little as I do now. And now I do none. But yeah, I had a burner. I had a political-ish burner for a few years. Before I started the pod and then put my name on there and everything. And yeah, I would be in like a 4-hour debate with like this 2-follow account, and I'd be like, what the fuck did I just do with my evening? And it's tough to engage, because you're like, how can somebody actually think this stuff? And yeah, I don't know.
You want to tell them to get out their safety scissors and a circle of paper.
It got to where it made me feel like I had to take a shower after every interaction with one of these fucking people. And then sometimes I still slip up and do it, and then I end up deleting the whole thread anyway. It's like, I feel grimy. Why did I just... It's like I can feel their energy. It's like it lasts on me. And then I don't want their energy anywhere near me. I don't know.
Keep safe near you at all times. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm sensitive to other people's energy. That's my biggest issue in general. Like, even when I'm out, that's why I don't like crowds. A lot of people, like, it's like I can feel people's weirdness.
It's entirely too people-y out there.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable.
It always has been. Yeah.
Well, everyone needs to kind of now show, I don't know, it's weird. Everyone's trying to, like, impose everyone's got this fake self-importance stance now that they didn't used to have.
Fake? The hell you say?
Wow, that's what I mean.
If there's anything more important than my ego, I want to drug out in the street and shot.
You guys, I'm saying, if it was authentic, it wouldn't feel as off-putting, you know what I mean? It's
right.
Like, it's because it's so forced and fake that it's so uncomfortable to be around.
God damn it, I just...
Like Holden Caulfield. Wasn't that his name?
Wait, what? Did you say Holden Caulfield?
Yeah, I'm like that kid. That's how I feel now when I'm out in public.
Yeah, it was weird because I was always more like the hermit. Then the pandemic hit, and then I kind of became less hermity. Now that we're a couple years of back out of being able to do what we want, I'm back to being a hermit again. Just go the fuck away, leave me alone. Don't. Yeah, that's me. And it's weird because, like, even people like on here that I'll meet in person, they're like, "Dude, you feel like we've been hanging out together for like a day now, and you've said like 5 words." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm quiet." You're never this quiet when we're on air. That's because we're on air. I can't be quiet on air. It sounds weird. I've tried.
I can't be sullen and awkward. It just doesn't get the clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm chatty, especially on one-on-ones, but yeah, people exhaust. I think you talk about introverts or whatever. That's always been like a good barometer for me. Is do you feel exhausted when you're around people, right? Like if you have to do a social event, it's like you need like alone recuperation time after that to recharge the batteries. Whereas a lot of people feed off of other people's energy. It makes them feel more energized. The extrovert people.
Yeah, I was always an introvert who was forced to basically LARP an extrovert. Because I'm not. And the funny thing is, as I've done this stuff more and more over the years, those tests that your employers make you take sometimes to determine what your personality type is, mine actually changed over the years. Because when I first started taking it, it was always, you're just straight up introvert. Then I started doing things like this more often, and they're like, "Oh, now you're an introvert that has extrovert tendencies." Then at one point it was saying I was an extrovert with introvert tendencies, and I'm like, yeah, that was not right.
Yeah, you can absolutely, because you can still enjoy connecting with people and sharing thoughts and ideas and having interesting conversations, but then you still get exhausted by socializing, being around people. It's not your natural energy, but yeah, it's definitely not so black and white. That's for sure.
Hey, I found the perfect bar sign for Gen X. Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's going to die, so come in and have a beer.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh. All right, gents. Well, I hate to say we got to start wrapping things up, but we got to start wrapping things up because it's been almost 2 hours and I haven't even had a bathroom break. So, yeah. Just saying.
We never did commercial.
Yeah, well, it's because we were talking the whole time.
Good show. Good fun.
Appreciate you guys. Looking forward to the miracle.
Yep, next week,
Oh,
Miracle
absolutely.
on 34th Street, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we will go till we run out of booze. Or run out of lines, whichever comes first.
And
I'm sorry, what?
I fucking love cocaine. I mean, different those lines. Yeah, we never run out of booze.
Well, I didn't technically imply which lines I was referring to, so you could have been just as right as you thought you were. So there's that.
No, it's just weird.
Mr. Cat, sir, where can they find you?
Thank you guys for having me on. I am on Twitter, JohnCats79, and John Katz Show is the pod when I get back to it. YouTube and Apple and all that fun stuff. Thank you.
You know, if you need some help getting back on, you could always have some of us on to come help get you back into it again.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I will, and we need to.
Help Stella get her groove back.
Because, trust me, I was there after 2020. I wasn't sure I was doing this at all anymore. Now, here I am pretty much doing this all the time now. So, fun times.
I'm going to get back to it. I'm making it kind of a loose New Year's resi type thing. I think I can come in fresh next year and definitely get it going again. So I got to, there's 50-something episodes up. Anyone wants to check it out. But yeah, I think it'll have a different, fresh energy than it's had. So there's been a lot of downer content, and we'll see. See where it goes.
Nice. All right, VC, where can folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at YesThatVCharles. I got my main account back again. I was and still am Judas Booth 99. I'll pop on there occasionally, but you can find me at both. And that's pretty much all I do.
You say that like it's not a lot.
And you can occasionally find him as a panelist on the Manorama show.
Yeah, on occasion.
On occasion.
You're on there on occasionally.
Yeah, I am occasionally there on occasion.
And Amish, when you're not raising barns, where can folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter as Ordnance Packard, usually arguing with some fucking retard, or dropping memes, or Dune posting with Vincent, or sharp posting, or all the other varietals of posting that we do. You can find me tomorrow night.
Behind the Circle K.
Yeah, also behind the Circle K, yes. Tomorrow night, we're doing Juxtaposition, yes?
I was going to ask you about that because I wasn't sure if we were or not, but we can, yes.
Then yes, we are doing Juxtaposition tomorrow, making up for the one we couldn't do last week because I had a Christmas party. We're revisiting Hollow Earth and Flat Earth. There seems to be some new spiciness in both of those genres that we need to touch on. Then you can find me possibly as a panelist on Manorama this week, and during the big Christmas production next Friday.
Nice. Yeah, you can find me on most social media. Yep.
Huzzah!
You can find me on most social media platforms at RowdyRick73. You can find me doing Juxtaposition tomorrow night with Orty, as he just talked about. Radio-wise, I will be off again until Tuesday after that. We are doing some shifting after the first of the year. There will be a KLRM Radio kind of mid-afternoon show. I tried the whole morning show thing, and then my life turned sideways again, and now I'm up until usually midnight, 1 in the morning, so I'm not trying to do the whole get up at 4 o'clock to prep for a show thing. So yeah, we're going to do mid-afternoon instead, starting after the first of the year. So I'll be doing that. And then you can find me as the executive producer of the Loftus Party podcast, a contributor on the loftusparty.com, and occasionally still a contributor at twitchy.com. I'm hoping to get back to that more in earnest, hopefully at some point tomorrow. Because every time I think I'm going to have 5 minutes to write something, somebody needs something else. So we'll see. Anyway, that's pretty much everywhere you can find me and all the stuff I do. And, not to mention the fact that we're about to launch a news organization. I really got to stop learning to put extra crap on my own plate. It's my fault. It's all my fault.
Maybe Maybe finish this piece of candy before you unwrap a new one.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
You're not the boss of me.
Great, now I have that song in my head. You're not the boss.
You're not the boss of me. Yeah. We all love They Might Be Giants. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a poll here in a minute, deciding if I want to blue myself or not.
If you, I don't think I want to know.
Blue check.
Nice. You should.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't get enough engagements to make it financially feasible, but
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was just a random thought. I'm gonna go make myself some eggnog with some Di Serrano and nutmeg.
Yeah. Speaking of which, holiday morning life hack: change out your creamer for eggnog. You'll thank me later.
Oh, absolutely.
I did that this morning. I was like, oh my god, I should have been doing this the whole time. Anyway, we've got to go. What? Who said what to who?
What was that, VC?
Fucking noggers.
I'm a wanted eggnogger.
All right. On that note, we're running away because I'm floating. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
You'll take it easy.
Thanks, you were great.
I'm old. I take it any way I can get it now. Easy, otherwise.